they brought their A team. I think that was probably as good or better than the potentially original Dream Team.
I stood up on that podium and I got a chance to, sit there and, listen to and just kind of look around and kind of see like where I'm at.
When you play in the NBA, you're playing for it carries a great honor with that situation. Just not get rattled, not get flustered about it. It is what it is. And so just to kind of keep that composure was part of my job.
The greatest athletes share one trait: not talent, not genetics, not opportunity, work ethic. The ability to outwork everyone when nobody's watching, to train when your body screams stop, to push beyond reasonable limits because reasonable limits create average results. Kobe Bryant understood this better than anyone, and what happened during the 2008 Olympics training camp proves exactly why nobody will ever replicate what he accomplished. This isn't the story shown on television. This isn't the highlight reel everyone remembers. This is about what happened when the cameras turned off. And if you think you know Kobe Bryant, you don't. Not the real story. Summer 2008, Las Vegas. Team USA prepared for the Beijing Olympics. The roster was stacked beyond belief. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Paul, Dwight Howard, Jason Kidd, and Kobe Bryant. The greatest collection of basketball talent ever assembled on one team.
They'd hired conditioning coaches to prepare them for international competition, expected professional athletes to show up, work hard, compete. Standard Olympic preparation. What they didn't expect was Kobe Bryant redefining what preparation actually meant. If you want to understand what separated Kobe from every other athlete in history, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment telling me about the hardest you've ever worked for something. Let me know your story. The conditioning coach arrived in Las Vegas 3 days before the first scrimmage, met with players individually, brief conversations, conditioning goals, end of summer targets, exchanged numbers, standard protocol. Athletes always say they'll reach out for extra training. They never do. Kobe said the same thing. Got the coach's number, said if he ever wanted extra work, he'd call anytime. The coach expected nothing. He'd heard it before. Every athlete says it. None of them mean it. Kobe Bryant meant it. 4:15 a.m., the morning before the first scrimmage. The conditioning coach's phone rang, piercing ringtone cutting through darkness. He grabbed it, confused, disoriented, wondering what emergency demanded attention at this hour. The voice on the other end was calm, unmistakable. Hey, I hope I'm not disturbing anything, right? Kobe Bryant. Calling at 4:15 in the morning like it was the most natural thing in the world. I was wondering if we could get some conditioning work in real quick. Not asking permission, stating a fact, expecting agreement. 4:15 a.m. Team breakfast was scheduled for 8 a.m. Practice started at 11 a.m. Kobe wanted to train 4 hours before breakfast, 7 hours before official practice. Whilst every other player on Team USA slept comfortably in luxury hotel rooms. The coach threw on clothes, drove through empty Las Vegas streets to the gym, arrived 20 minutes later. Kobe was already there, already warming up, already drenched in sweat like he'd been working for an hour. He'd been there before he called, working alone in the dark whilst the greatest basketball players on earth slept. They trained, conditioning drills, footwork, agility, full body workout, hour and a half straight, no breaks, no complaints. Silent except for breathing and counting reps. When they finished, the coach was exhausted. Kobe looked like he was just getting started. Good work. Same time tomorrow? That became the routine. Every single day. 4:15 a.m. phone call, 4:30 a.m. training session. 90 minutes. No days off, no excuses, no shortcuts. Kobe Bryant had already won 3 NBA championships. Already achieved global superstar status, already earned more money than most people see in 10 lifetimes. And he was waking up at 4 a.m. to run conditioning drills in an empty gym because he wanted an edge over teammates who were already the best players in the world. 8 a.m., team breakfast. The conditioning coach walked into the dining area exhausted. The players filtered in gradually, yawning, stretching, joking around. LeBron looked half asleep, squinting at the breakfast buffet. Carmelo was checking his phone, barely awake. Wade was moving slowly, still shaking off sleep. Dwight Howard lumbered in, looking like he'd just rolled out of bed. Then, Kobe walked in, ice packs strapped to both knees with athletic tape. 2 trainers flanking him like bodyguards. Sweat completely soaked through his workout gear. Not damp, not moist, drenched. Like he'd jumped in a pool fully clothed. His shirt clung to his body, droplets still falling from his hair. Chris Bosh saw him first. Fork halfway to his mouth, stopped mid-bite, stared with confusion painted across his face. Then realization dawned. Horror, respect, disbelief, all at once. Everybody else just woke up, Wade said later in an interview.
We're still stretching and yawning and looking at him like, what the fuck? LeBron's expression said everything. He'd been the youngest player drafted from high school. He'd dominated the league since age 18. He thought he understood work ethic. Watching Kobe walk in completely spent before official practice even started taught him something new about dedication. They didn't know. None of them knew Kobe had already completed a 90-minute conditioning session. None of them knew he'd been awake since at least 4 a.m. None of them knew, whilst they slept, Kobe was 3 hours deep into his training day. He sat down, ate breakfast, didn't mention the workout, didn't brag, didn't draw attention, just ate, recovered, prepared for official practice starting in 3 hours. That's what separated Kobe from everyone else. Other players talked about dedication. Kobe lived it, silently, relentlessly,
without needing recognition or praise. Other players started noticing. They'd see Kobe at breakfast looking like he'd already played a full game. They'd see the ice packs, the sweat-drenched clothes, the trainers working on his body. Word spread, whispers, questions. Nobody could figure out what he was doing. Some guessed correctly. Most didn't believe it. Who trains at 4:30 in the morning when you're already the best? Who pushes that hard when you've already won everything? Kobe Bryant. That's who. Because for Kobe, being the best yesterday meant nothing about today. Every morning was a new opportunity to get better. Every session was a chance to create distance between himself and everyone chasing him. Here's what nobody tells you about that level of dedication. It's lonely, isolating. Kobe had 4 real friends during his 20-year NBA career. 4. Derek Fisher, Pau Gasol, Ronnie Turioff, Caron Butler. Out of hundreds of teammates, dozens of all-stars, countless players who wanted to be close to him, 4 earned his friendship. The rest, co-workers, associates, acquaintances. Smush Parker played alongside Kobe for 2 full seasons. Starting point guard, shared the backcourt every single game. Kobe never spoke to him off the court, not once. Parker tried, attempted conversation, wanted connection. Kobe looked at him and said, "You can't talk to me. You need more accolades under your belt before you come talk to me." Ice cold, brutal, honest. That was Kobe's standard. Prove yourself worthy. Earn respect through performance. Everything else was irrelevant. Kobe called Smush Parker his worst teammate ever. Said the Lakers were too cheap to pay for a real point guard, so they were stuck with Parker. Publicly, harshly. Truthfully, from his perspective, Kobe didn't believe in protecting feelings. He believed in winning. And if you couldn't help him win at the level he demanded, you didn't deserve his attention. That mentality sounds cruel, unfair, but that's what greatness requires. Standards so high that most people can't reach them. Expectations so demanding that only the elite survive. Kobe created an environment where excellence was the minimum. Anything less was unacceptable. But here's the other side nobody discusses. When you earned Kobe's respect, everything changed. Pau Gasol arrived via trade in 2008. Calm, skilled, intelligent, unselfish, everything Kobe needed. They won back-to-back championships in 2009 and 2010. Pau became family. Kobe called him brother. Genuine love, mutual respect, deep friendship that lasted beyond basketball. Derek Fisher played alongside Kobe for all 5 championships. Unflappable, clutch, trustworthy, Kobe's favorite teammate ever. The player he trusted most in critical moments. The co-captain who understood the mission. These relationships weren't built on casual friendship. They were forged through shared sacrifice. Mutual commitment to excellence. Proving repeatedly you belonged in Kobe's circle. Once you earned that spot, Kobe was loyal beyond measure, protective, supportive, a true brother. But earning that spot required matching his standard, and his standard was inhuman. During those training sessions, Kobe perfected details most players ignore. One morning, he decided his corner jump shot needed improvement. Not because he was bad at it, because a coach mentioned it could be better. 500 jump shots from the corner. Not attempted, made. Every single one had to go in. If you missed, it didn't count. Start over. 500 successful shots. Some days he'd add challenges. This one has to be all net. Next one has to bounce off back iron. Keeping the mind engaged during monotonous repetition. Do you understand how long it takes to make 500 jump shots from the exact same spot? Hours. Your legs burn. Your arms ache. Your mind screams for variety. Kobe wouldn't stop until 500 went through the net. That's the gap between good and legendary. Good players practice until they get it right. Legendary players practice until they cannot get it wrong. Kobe lived in that second category. Practice didn't make perfect.
perfect practice made permanent. Jay Williams played against the Lakers early in his career. He knew Kobe was on the opposing roster, decided to arrive early for extra training, get a head start, impress coaches. When he walked into the arena, Kobe was already there, alone, hard at work, drenched in sweat from at least an hour of solo training. Jay watched for 30 minutes, witnessed the intensity, the focus, the repetition. That night, Lakers won. Kobe scored 40 points. After the game, Jay asked why Kobe trained so obsessively. Kobe's response? Because I saw you there. He'd seen Jay arrive early, understood what that meant, refused to let anyone outwork him, adjusted his schedule to ensure he'd always be first, always train harder, always maintain the edge. That's not normal athlete behavior. That's pathological commitment to competitive dominance. Most athletes want to be the best. Kobe needed to be the best. Couldn't function otherwise. Every waking moment was about finding edges, creating advantages, building distance between himself and everyone chasing. Kobe wasn't competing against other players. He was competing against his own potential. Every morning at 4:30 a.m. wasn't about beating LeBron or Carmelo or Wade. It was about discovering how far he could push himself, how much better he could become, how close to perfection he could reach. Other players competed against opponents. Kobe competed against the theoretical maximum of human basketball performance. And he believed that maximum had no ceiling, that you could always improve, always refine, always edge closer to impossible. That's why he couldn't stop, wouldn't stop, didn't know how to stop, because stopping meant accepting a limit. And Kobe Bryant didn't accept limits, ever.
The 4:30 a.m. workouts weren't about the Olympics. They were about principle, about refusing to let anyone, anywhere work harder, about maintaining competitive dominance through sheer force of will. Most people don't understand that mindset. They think success comes from talent, from opportunity, from luck. Kobe proved it comes from obsession, from refusing to accept anything less than maximum effort, from treating every single day like it's your last chance to improve. Beijing Olympics arrived. Team USA dominated. Won gold medal easily. Kobe's fingerprints covered everything. His work ethic infected teammates. His standards elevated everyone. His refusal to accept anything less than excellence pushed the entire roster higher. Years later, those players still talk about that summer, about watching Kobe work, about learning what true dedication looked like, about understanding the gap between wanting greatness and earning it. Chris Bosh said it changed his approach forever. Dwayne Wade called it transformative. LeBron James studied every detail. They'd all been superstars before meeting Kobe. They all became something more after training alongside him. Kobe Bryant retired in 2016. His final game, he scored 60 points. 60 at age 37, after 20 seasons, after countless injuries, after everything his body had endured. 60 points in his last game because he refused to leave any other way. He died January 26, 2020, helicopter crash. Gone at 41. The world mourned. Millions cried. Grown men wept openly. But those who understood him differently, who knew about the 4:30 a.m. workouts, who witnessed the relentless pursuit of perfection, understood something others didn't. Kobe didn't die too young. He lived more intensely in 41 years than most people live in 80. He squeezed every possible second from every possible day. He refused to waste a single moment. He understood something most never grasp. Time isn't about quantity. It's about intensity, quality, what you do with the hours you're given. Kobe was given 41 years. He lived them like they were 400. Every morning at 4:30 a.m., every 500 shots from the corner, every refusal to accept good enough, every moment spent pushing closer to impossible. That was Kobe's life. Not the fame, not the fortune, the work, the pursuit. The relentless drive to be better today than yesterday. The phone call at 4:15 a.m. teaches everything you need to know about success. Greatness isn't a talent, it's a decision, made repeatedly, every single day, often in darkness, usually alone, always difficult. Kobe Bryant made that decision every morning, made it when his body screamed stop, made it when his mind begged for rest, made it when nobody was watching and nobody would know if he skipped a day. Made it because the decision was the point, the work was the reward, the pursuit was the purpose. That's who Kobe Bryant really was. Not the highlight reel, not the championship rings, not the fame or fortune or global adoration. The man who trained at 4:15 a.m. because he saw an opportunity to get better. The man who worked in darkness whilst the world slept. The man who refused to accept that yesterday's success meant anything about today's potential. The man who understood that greatness isn't given, it's earned.
every single day through decisions nobody sees and work nobody appreciates until it's too late to replicate. That's why nobody will ever be quite like him again. Hit subscribe if this story moved you. Share it if you know someone who needs to hear it.